Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Now we are going to discuss today's class in radiation heat transfer, the important topic that is the radiation shields. Already, the last lecture I have given the information about what is a radiation shield, everything. Now, once again, I'll just rush through what is exactly a radiation shield, why the radiation shields are used. Okay. Now, for this particular session, I'll be discussing these things. One thing, what is a radiation shield again, and what are the applications of radiation shields. Then I'll be taking you through the different models of problems based on radiation shields. Okay. Now, just see this exactly what we discussed in the last class. So most of the times when there are two plates, assume that both are non-black surfaces undergoing the radiation heat transfer. Radiation heat transfer. So it looks like these parallel plates. So I shown here. So let me just take. Yeah. Now you can see here. Now you can just observe here. These are the two plates. Okay, which is actually undergoing the radiation heat transfer. Now this particular radiation heat transfer in terms of electrical analogy will be shown like this. This is already what we discussed, where this first one and the last one is the two surface resistances, and the middle one is nothing but your shape factor resistance. Assume the areas A1, A2 are same for the plates. Okay, so epsilon 1, epsilon 2 are emissivities of both the surfaces 1 and 2. T1 and T2 are temperatures. Now I want to reduce the heat transfer between these two. So what is the other alternative is, I can just add one more sheet which is called as a radiation shield. So it will be like this. Yes. Now see, this is exactly what will happen. So whenever I want to reduce the radiation heat transfer between the two plates, 1 and 2, add a thin sheet which is like a high reflective material made up of lead or aluminum or some sort of reflective material, where the radiation heat transfer from 1 to 3 will happen, then 3 to 2 will happen. But in the process, what will happen, the radiation heat transfer is going to be reduced compared to the 1 to 2, because you have added a extra resistance, which is called as a radiation shield. So as if you take electrical analogy or electrical network here, now there are now three plates, and we know that whenever you have two plates, there are three resistances. So totally, if you have three plates here, you have totally around six resistances. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So obviously, two shape factor resistance, which indicates 1 and 3. Then other one 3 and 2. That is shape factor resistance is 1 3 here, 3 2 here. Then epsilon 3 and epsilon 2. So that's the for the second surface. So this is how the electrical analogy will be taken care of. Then how to find out the heat transfer from first surface to second surface, we have seen already. So just I'll show you that. Now this is exactly what we discussed. Now let me just take that what I have shown to you. I hope you were able to understand here. Now this is exactly how it is happening. Now the first plate A1 T1 epsilon 1, the second one is A2 epsilon 2 T2. I have added a shield or a sheet here, which is A3 epsilon 3 T3, and these are the resistances. Now my amount of heat transfer now is given by the formula EB1 minus EB2, because the MC power from first surface to second surface is happening here, but it has to cross the shield, then it has to go. Now EB1 minus EB2 and the combination of resistance. So R1, R3. So 3 is R3 is near here. So R1 is near 1 here. So similarly, I call this other side as R3 dash, because after the shield. Now R2 is near R2, 2 second surface, and remaining shape factor resistance are R4 and R5. So this is how I can denote the resistances or the total resistances available for the radiation heat transfer from 1 to R2. Now, what is net radiation heat transfer now? EB1 minus EB2 by the combination of all the resistances, where R4, R5 is shape factor resistances, and R1, R3, R3 bar, and R2 are called as surface resistances. Okay, so the same thing I have mentioned here, right? Now, just take a problem. Now you can understand even better by if you observe that particular problem. Okay, see the same thing I have mentioned here. Now, what is the problem? Normally, they will indicate. So they'll be asking a problem like this. Whenever you have two surfaces undergoing the heat transfer, suppose if I keep a shield, what will happen? So they'll be asking without any shield, what is the heat transfer? Q without. Then they'll be asking the other one. So if I add a shield, if I add a shield here, like you see this like a fishbone like thing you're observing here under the highlighter, which is nothing but your radiation shield. Then what will happen with shield? So they'll be asking with shield to without shield, how much is the radiation is going to reduce? Because whenever you're adding a reflective surface, obviously the radiation heat transfer is going to be reduced. Okay. So once the problem gives, first you have to draw these two diagrams. That is, so first without shield, it's exactly the same like 1 to 2, R1, R2. Where R1 is the surface resistance, 1 minus epsilon by A1 epsilon 1. And R2 is same as 1 minus epsilon 2 S2 and A1 F12. This already we worked out so many problems with the parallel or infinite parallel planes. Now, what is Q without any shield in between? That is EB1 minus EB2 as usual. Then R1 plus R plus R2. Those are the resistances. So this particular diagram procedure gives you without shield how the network looks like. Now just you, so with shield, you see here at the top I have written this as with shield. This diagram you have to draw to find out with shield. Now see what I said. So this diagram, if you just carefully observe, so this is EB1, this is EB2, the top one is EB2. Okay, now in between this is 1, this is 2, and the shield is at 3. Now as usual, R1, R4, R3, R3 bar, R5, R2, as we discussed just now. What are the resistances? Obviously R1, one surface resistance, another surface resistance is R3. R3 bar is one more surface resistance, and R2 is one more surface resistance. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 1. So find out all the resistances. And what is the formula for heat transfer now? You just see. So now Q12 with shield kept, one shield kept here. It is given by EB1 minus EB2 by the just combination of all the resistances. Now finally they'll be asking, what is the percentage reduction in heat transfer? What is the percentage reduction in heat transfer? It is nothing but 1 minus heat transfer with shield by without shield. So obviously without shield, you'll get a big value compared to the with shield because it's going to reduce. Now I can find out how much I can percentage will be reduced by just keeping a one shield. Okay. So hope you understood the procedure. Now just take a problem, very simple problem. Now easily you can understand the problem. Just see, there are two large parallel plates are maintained at 500 Kelvin with epsilon 0.4. So there are two plates, both are at 500 Kelvin, and the emissivity of the both the plates, epsilon 1 and epsilon 2, both are 0.4. Sorry, they have given that two large parallel plates are maintained at 500 Kelvin with epsilon 1, maybe the 500 Kelvin plane is at 0.4 emissivity, and 750 Kelvin with 0.8. Yeah, there are two emissivities. Sorry, so there are two emissivities. One is at 0.4 and temperature is 500 Kelvin. The another one is 750 Kelvin and 0.8 is emissivity. Determine the heat exchange by radiation without shield. Without shield, if another plate of reflectivity, nothing but there is third plate you are keeping the nothing but your shield, which is having a reflectivity or emissivity, it doesn't matter. So its amount is how much? Epsilon 3 is given as 0.04 is introduced exactly in between. Then determine the heat exchange, percentage reduction in heat exchange, and shield temperature. Because we know that T1 is one plane temperature, T2 is another plane temperature, that's a 500 and 750. But I don't know what is T3. That T3 I can find out by this procedure. So hope you have understood here. So one is 500 Kelvin, second one is 750, epsilon 1.4, epsilon 2.8, epsilon 3 is 0.04. Okay, so the problem goes like this. Just see how it goes. So as usually, first I need to find out percentage increase in heat transfer or decrease in heat transfer because of introduction of the shield. So first you take a case A without any shield kept. So this is same. So 500 Kelvin and 0.4 emissivity. This is the first plane. And second one 700. Okay, 700 Kelvin and emissivity is 0.8. And obviously this is the second plane. This is EB1. This is EB2. So our procedure is take the resistances. There's the one shape factor resistance and two surface resistances, which is as usual procedure. You just keep it like this. Okay, now you can see epsilon 1 is given. Suppose a1 a2 is not given, you can assume it as 1. So a1 is equals to a2 equal to 1 meter square. And one more thing, just that same thing I have mentioned. See, in the formula I need what is q12. So whenever the parallel infinite plates, then obviously the f12 is 1. Where f12, the fn2 will be here. So the f12 shape factor from 1 to 2 is 1. And no information about areas. You can take that a1 is equals to a2 or both are same around 1 meter square or 1 meter square because it's not given in the problem. Now find out all the resistances. R1, 1 minus 0.4 by 0.4 and A1 is 1. So R2 similarly, finally you find out what is R. Okay, so after finding out everything and what is EB1 minus EB2 as usual, sigma into T1 power 4 minus T2 power 4 because EB1 is sigma Stephen-Boltzmann constant into T1 power 4 minus sigma into T2 power 4. That thing I have substituted and this is already given in Kelvin. So 500 power of 4 minus 700 power of 4. You can take just vice versa also. Now if I take this 500 minus 700, because 500 I assumed as first plate, 700 as second plate, you get negative. Negative indicates the heat transfer. The heat transfer. Now if you just keep this value and what is Q12, EB1 minus EB2 by R plus R1, R1 plus R plus R2. Keep all the values. Now what is your amount of heat transfer now? It is around minus 3661.78 watts. This is the value of heat transfer whenever there is no shield. Now the procedure is if I have a shield. Now draw this diagram. Just now we discussed with shield, same procedure. So first one, second one, but you have to add one more shield with A3 and epsilon 3 this side, epsilon 3 bar this side. And but epsilon 3 bar both are same. That is given as around a 0.04. That's the emissivity of that shield. Emissivity or reflectivity of that shield is given as 0.04. And obviously A1, A2, A3 or A3 bar, all the areas are same. That's a 1 meter square. And this is the resistances. I said how to list out. This is the way you can list out your resistances. Now you can see how the see here. Now obviously these two also parallel infinite plates. So 1 to 3 or 3 to 2, that's also equal to 1. And A1, A2, A3, everything is equals to 1 meter square. So you have all the values now. Just find out R1, R4, R3. Next you have something like R3 bar, R5, R2. So everything you just try to find out by substituting the values of epsilons A and as well as shape factors. Then finally you will be getting the value like this. You see here. So Q12 heat transfer with shield, keeping all the resistances as I said the previous procedure, and the numerator is same, that is sigma T power 4, T1 power 4 minus T2 power 4. So everything keep it. Now I am getting the value of minus 194.58 watts. So this is once you introduce a single sheet or shield before two surfaces, radiation surfaces. Now you just see previously it's around 3661. Now it's a 194. Now see, there is a huge reduction in the radiation heat transfer. So what is the percentage reduction as per the, I have to give this solution. So 1 minus Q12 with shield by Q12 without shield. Q12 with shield by Q12 without shield. Now just keep the values. So with shield, how much I got? 194. That is the numerator. minus doesn't matter, it will be cancelled. Now without shield you have around 3661 watts. So just keep this, and how much you see this, the value is around 94.68 percentage. So just by keeping a single shield, you will be getting a reduction in heat transfer, that is from 1 to 2. It's almost like a 94.7 percentage reduction in the heat transfer, because you are using a sheet of reflectivity of very less value, that is 0.04. So that's how the problem will be there. So I have solved for with shield, without shield, and finally he'll be asking what is the temperature of the shield, that is T3. What is the temperature of the shield? Now for that I have 1, 3, 2. Okay, so it has one first plane, third plane, and second plane. So I can take 1 to 3. Now if I take 1 to 3 with the shield, this is the formula, that is EB1 minus EB3, because I have taken 1 to 3. I have taken 1 to 3. So R1, R4, R3 are resistances, because only I have to consider 2 plates. Okay, now what is the radiation heat transfer? We'll assume that whatever the heat transfer comes up to the third plate, the same thing will be going from 3 to 2 also. So I have taken that value is how much, because of one shield you are getting the heat transfer as minus 194 watts, that is equal to this EB1 minus EB3, okay, divided by all these values of resistance already you have calculated. Now I know what is EB1 minus EB3. So just I know left hand side here, just I know this denominator, send this denominator this side. Now EB1 minus EB3 is given as this value. Now what is EB1 minus EB3? It is sigma into T1 power 4 minus T3 power 4. Now in this particular problem, everything is known except T3, except T3. So substitute the values here and find out what is T3. Now the temperature of the shield is around 625.8 Kelvin. So those are the answers. Okay, so hope you understood the problems based on parallel planes, shields, and similar examples will be observed in the further problems, right? So I'll take one more problem. Now this is like a cylindrical vessel. Previously we have taken it as, okay, this is I think without any shield problem. I'll just see whether it's a shield one, shield problem or not, right? Yeah. Now I'll just take this one, liquid oxygen. You don't have to worry, because it's a cylindrical vessel or thing, everything is same. Now I will take one more example. Okay, so that instead of parallel planes and all, the procedure is same. That already worked out here. So see, same problem. I'll be sending this PDF for you to refer the problems. You can easily understand the different models of problems here. Now this is what I mean. Yes. Now this problem is just slide right here. Now they have mentioned a concentric spheres of 300 mm inner diameter and 360 mm outer diameter is used for storing liquid oxygen at minus 183 degrees centigrade with the emissivity of 0.5, whereas the outer sphere temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. It is also covered with the same painting. That means the emissivity of this painting also 0.5. Determine the heat exchange. That is, this is the heat exchange means there are two concentric spheres. I need to find out the heat transfer. So inner surface is at minus 183 degrees. The outer surface is at 20 degrees. Okay. Now what he did now, if another spherical wall is introduced exactly between with the same color, that means the same painting, then determine percentage reduction heat transfer and shield temperature. Okay, now it's a similar thing, only thing difference is previously I have discussed about the parallel planes. Now here he has taken the concentric sphere. Okay, now just see the solution, you can easily understand. Now this is how the concentric spheres looks like. Now this is the outer sphere, this is the inner sphere, which is having a radius of r1, outer sphere is of the radius of r2, and obviously he said the inside he is having a temperature of minus 183 degrees centigrade, the outside is 20 degrees. And just see this they have taken. This is the network with R1, R and R2. This is how it plotted. There is no shield or in between cylinder, spherical wall available. Okay. Now this is without any shield. Now see R1 is given, R2 is given. Now what is surface area of this particular sphere now? 4 pi r square. So for A1 is 4 pi r1 square, A2 is 4 pi r2 square. Now similarly here it's a long spheres if you assume. Obviously you assume the F12 for a sphere as 1, F12 as 1. Obviously the shape factor distance is like this. Okay. Now given that epsilon1, epsilon2, epsilon3, all the values are given, I can find out what is the R1 plus R plus R2, that's the total resistance. Now finally EB1 minus EB2, so given what are the temperatures of the surfaces, that is minus 183 and 20. Okay, Kelvin you have to convert. Then finally I'll get the Q12 without any shield or without any in between spherical wall. The heat transfer is minus 43.4046 watts. Okay. Now the second case in the same problem, see the diagram. So instead of having a see R1 and R2, there is one more circular, one more spherical wall is added, which is at a radius of R3. Okay, where is R3? It is exactly in between, that is R1 plus R2 by 2. So what is the radius R3 is given as outer plus inner by 2, that's around 0.165 meters. And find out the surface area of the same spherical wall in between is 4 pi R3 square. Now I'll assume the F13 or F everything is a 1 because that indicates the shape factor resistance. Okay, and A3, A bar, A3 is given. A3 I'll find out like this, and that's equal to A3 bar, doesn't matter. Okay, now I just see how I have plotted the network diagram here. So from 1 to 3, 3 to 2. So like parallel planes, how I have plotted. Now I have just taken the same spherical walls, and you have this diagram like this. So R1, R5, 4, R3, R3 bar, R5, R2. The similar lines what we did for parallel planes, I just given and find out all the values, that is what is R1, what is R4, R2, R3, R3 bar, everything. The procedure is similar. The procedure is similar, and just keep the values in the denominator contains of all the combination of resistances, then finally I'll be getting the value of yes, yeah, that you can find it out. The Q12 is given as the value, so the answers will be like this. So that is like 15933 what you'll get without any spherical wall. So with spherical wall in between. Okay, so we'll be getting, see, 15933 watts. Here it's a 1593 watts. So you can see percentage reduction because of adding one spherical wall. Okay, it's around 90%. And T3 in the similar manner, what I found out for the parallel planes, you can take it for cylindrical walls. Okay, or spherical walls. Both are same, and the same thing you can just use, and you will find out the solution for that. Okay, so hope you understood the problem. Now like parallel planes, like spherical wall, you have one more thing like a cylindrical heaters in a large room. It will be like this. So one more model you can just see. I'll rush to this. A long cylindrical heater of 30 mm diameter is at 100 degrees with emissivity is given. The heater is located in a large room whose wall temperature is at 35 degrees. Determine the heat exchange. So instead of having two concentric cylinders, he has having only one cylinder. Okay, now that is kept in a room which is having a very large room, which is at a temperature of 35 degrees centigrade. Now what is asking? Determine the heat exchange between the cylinder and room. Now what is the percentage reduction in heat exchange if the heater is completely covered with one more shield? So one cylinder, one more covering, that's a concentric cylinders is there with a shield of reflectivity of 0.05 with a diameter of 40 mm. So this is slightly different. So you have, instead of three concentric circles, you have two concentric cylinders, and the last one is like a room. Okay, so it will be like this. Just see here. The first case, there is a cylinder and the dotted line I represents as large room, okay. And you just assume here, whenever you have F12, similarly for this case also, 1 is this one, 2 is this one, F12 will be like a 1 because a small body in a large enclosure at the large room, that is a 1. And what about A2 of this? Because A1 I can find out because R1 I know, but A2 it's a very large room, it's not given. We'll assume that the area room is very big, around infinity. Now just keep the values. What is R1? What is R2? So R2, if you just take it here, it will be like a 0 because 1 by 1 minus epsilon 2 by A2 is infinity. So 1 by infinity is obviously 0. So that resistance will straight away goes off. And what you regret is only two things, that is first resistance as well as shape factor resistance. So thus once you just keep those things here, now you will be getting a value of heat transfer as around 3793 watts. Now what he did now, previously R1 is the cylinder. Now he has enclosed that in a shield of radius of R3, and this dotted line is the room, large room. Okay. Now 1, 3, 2. Similarly 1, 2, 3. What are the things I have discussed with the parallel planes and concentric spheres? The same thing, you just work it out. This is the resistances here, right? So once you take the combination of resistances and find it out, all the values are available. Just go through this problem. Then I can substitute all these values, and with shield now, this is the value I got, minus 23.2 watts. And what is the percentage reduction between the room and cylinder? Once you have one more cylindrical wall enclosed, will be like this. That is 1 minus Q with shield by without shield. So around 46.55%. Okay, similar manner, all the problems will be like almost like similar ones. And finally, he'll be asking what is the shield or the extra cylinder wall we have added now. What is the temperature? That's a T3. So we'll take 1 to 3 and find out. So 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, we'll just, that's the with shield only, no? That particular heat transfer I'll take. Then find out what is T3. So the T3 is around 253 Kelvin. Okay. So hope you understood the problems based on radiation shield. So just let me just revise. So radiation shields are the devices which reduces the heat transfer between the two non-black surfaces. Whenever the shield is added, you are going to see that there is a reduction in heat transfer because the shield will be acting as a highly reflective surface. Okay, and we have discussed the three models of problems, that is two parallel planes and two there's a concentric cylinders, spheres, and finally the last problem with the cylinders and a large room. Okay, so hope you understood this problem, and similar examples you will find it in these notes. Okay, so just go through this and definitely you will understand the problems. And with this, I just conclude the things. Okay, so we have completed our radiation heat transfer in all respects. Okay, so any clarification you have, just I'll be just opening the group and you just keep the questions in the group. Okay, so any further doubts you have, we take further classes. And next class completely I'll take it for a revision, what and all we have discussed up to now. Okay, and possible next class I'll be conducting one online quiz for you, which contains all the 5 units, maybe just 10 objectives of 2 marks each, and that will be mandatory. So I request all to just attempt that, that will be mandatory, and that score will be kept as reference as per the HOD's direction. So the assignment, it will be called as assignment or quiz or online quiz. That marks I'll keep for reference for any grading like that. Okay. So thank you. Okay, and we'll meet in the next class.